My name is Vita, and this is Hippie Crow Hub, and happy holidays. So this video falls on the week of Christmas. Now, this video is going to be about just reflecting generally on 2024 and my life and what I feel like I achieved, what was good, what was not so good. And generally, regardless whether you celebrate Christmas or make a big deal out of it, whether it's religious for you or just general kind of seasonal festivities, meetups, and parties and gatherings, I feel like regardless of whether things are kind of like conditioned on us or there's a natural cycle of things, this time of the year naturally becomes kind of a good opportunity to reflect back on what's been happening. We do run our lives based on calendar of the end of the year and the holidays, Christmas festivities, and it's also winter. If you live in a four-season climate weather, then you know that this time of the year is also kind of like becoming a lot more introverted in a way. And it's interesting because the festivities forces us to be more going out, more outgoing, and more socializing, and have to attend more meetings and more events. But at the same time, the darkness and the days being shorter and the nights being longer and the nature is going to sleep, kind of like inside, forces us to go a little bit more inwards. So it's a tricky thing to keep the balance between the both, but I feel like I like both sides of it. I have enjoyed so far the busyness of this season. It's been really busy between the kids and my little business and my husband's family, who is in Canada. It's going to be a very busy, eventful couple of weeks. And already has been, because we already have attended quite a few things. And it's my daughter's birthday during Christmas. So it's a whole lot going on. But I'm managing it all, planning wisely. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to film a couple of simple videos for Christmas and New Year, because I believe that most people are going to be busy with the families, might not be, looking for YouTube videos. I'm not going to sew this couple of weeks because I just want to put less pressure on myself, and it is going to be holiday season. So I'm going to focus and share a few things about 2024. All right, where do I start? If I remember this time last year, so that would be 2023, just before we shifted on 2024, I was feeling really good and excited. I really enjoy this Christmassy season. We went to town with family. We had such a good day. And then the reality of problems with my landlords just really came up in my face. Because I mentioned before a couple of times that I'm dealing with the lawsuit with my landlords, who have been really pain in the ass, such unethical humans, just really immoral, and I don't know, people who have no decency or no quality expectations how they want to be in this life. But anyway, don't want to like glorify even putting too much attention on them. But the fact that I had to deal with the situation, and I feel like I've done nothing wrong, and this, this wrongdoing has been brought onto my family, and it caused a lot of stress. And the fact that this lawsuit was about to be scheduled for, I think, January last year, it put so much stress on me. It brought back all of the moments that was like really not cool throughout the years of being here. And I feel like all the anger and all the wrongdoing that was just there at the back really just came up. It's almost like, dealing with trauma in some sort of way. You feel it's so wrong, and you put in this situation, and everything just came up. And I remember it was just like, this really heavy feeling of feeling so frustrated about the fact that we even have to deal with it. And then we had one appointment, and then a few months later I found myself kind of like, digesting all of these feelings. And I was like, you know what, I think all of these feelings were buried deep inside, and I didn't process them. And that was one of the reasons why it dragged me down so much. And it was almost like some sort of like a depressive feeling and state. It's like you want to live your life, you try to do the best you can, and somebody wants to drag you down. Literally just toxic people and their toxic behaviors. Anyway, we have not finished resolving this situation yet. We have another appointment next year, coming February, uh, with a lawsuit, and I hope that this will be done and dusted, and this will finalize everything. And even though things are not 100% yet, stamped, that they've done, wrong for us, or that we have been approved some sort of financial compensation or anything like that, but the fact that we have stood up for ourselves, and we have reported them and their wrongdoings, makes me feel damn good. Because I could try and meditate all I want here, and try to forgive them for all the wrongdoings, but it's not going to stop them to continue doing, behaving the way they've been behaving. And I'll explain everything in details when everything is finalized. I'll make another video. But so in the end of the day, we had to do what we did for them to stop mistreating us. And now I feel good in my own home because the necessary repairs are done, that's supposed to have been done by them, not by us, because, when you sign a contract, it's in the contract that they're supposed to do necessary repairs, not us, because we pay monthly rent. Anyway, just the fact that we have filed this complaint, it stopped them behaving that way. So I feel like we already won in a way, regardless of what the end result is, because now they know that we are going to stand up for them, for ourselves. So, there could have been many things we could have done: pretended that the problem was not there, or ignored it, or just done our own repairs, which would have been unfair because that's not part of the contract. Or we could have moved somewhere else, and suddenly ended up paying 3 times the price for our rent, and screwing ourselves up for the big picture. So I don't see how not facing this stressful situation could have been a better long term for us. So sometimes you really do have to do something you really don't want to do for the greater good. And seriously, it is not fair. the last thing I want to do is like be suing someone and going through all this paperwork and unnecessary time wasted. It's really unfair, but I guess life is often unfair. And it is, and I have kind of had to accept that. And I said, you know what, it is what it is. People always gonna try to drag you down and be selfish and inconsiderate and just really shitty people. That's all I can say. But yeah, so there's one thing kind of feels good on me now that we are doing this. Now, personally, with my family, I feel proud, proud mom. I feel so happy and and proud, I guess, that I have prioritized my children since day one, and I have not stopped doing that, even with a small business that I created for myself. My kids and my family always a top priority, and this was the main reason why I started doing what I'm doing with being a vendor and creating a small business for myself where I can work from home. I can be flexible with time. I can decide when I work, when I don't work, and if my kids get sick or they need to be picked up from school, I can just drop everything and go do that. Even at the days when they don't have school, like it's a PA day or holidays, I can bring my two kids to my restock, and they're very well behaved. They're great two kids, and my kids' Tamagotchi is beeping. Never mind. And people who own the shop has been so amazing and welcoming, and had no problem with me doing that. So I really feel blessed and just happy that this has been working out. Uh, Regarding relationships, I feel like, my husband and I, we've been together for 11 years now. And 11 and plus, I think we've been married for 10 or 11. Oh my God, I lost the track. It's 11 now. We had gotten married in 2014, and now it's 2024. Okay, so in all this time, almost a decade basically, we have gone through a lot. We have met, we have gotten married pretty quick. We moved pretty quick. And this is another thing will be fun to do. Maybe get him in one of the little videos just to have a little chat and story about us. And then we got married, and we got pregnant. Oh, I got pregnant. We wanted to have a child, and we planned it. And once my daughter was 1 year old, we moved to Canada. And then we had another baby. So there's been a lot going on. He had to completely change his jobs and careers here in Canada. We moved here for a better, more stable life situation for as a family. And things have not been made very easy since 2019, 2020, the whole COVID drama and all the politics that came with it. Regardless of what your opinion is about it, it was a shitty time. But even on difficult times, you end up finding lessons and opportunities to become better and to learn more and to reprioritize certain things in life. So again, another massive thing that was not really fair on anyone, but none of us chose this, so we had to roll with it. Yeah, and so there's been a lot of things that happen within this time, and we raised that two kids with not a lot of help. especially physically, meaning with the two kids. It's kind of just me and my husband, and he's at work all the time, meaning from Monday to Friday, and weekends we luckily have together. And yeah, and I feel like within the last year, since our kids are a little bit older now, we have found the time to kind of come back a little bit more, put the focus a little bit more at each other and our relationship. And we've become, in a way, closer than ever, because we're on a different level now. We are together for a while. We still share the same values and the same life goals and same priorities. And kids are growing up, and they also not as needy attention wise as they used to be when they were babies. They're a lot more independent, so we have a little bit more space to give back to our relationship, and I feel really good about it. I feel like everything we chose has been worth it, because often I hear that people and families and women, they want to choose the convenience in a lot of ways, like, and I mentioned that before, things like rushing kids to sleep on their own, in their own room, to get them cried out or sleep it through the night or whatever it's called, choosing pacifiers and bottles and formulas instead of the natural, healthier ways. And that was extremely important to me. So my children were like the main thing. Like, it was my top priority, and I knew that at that early age it's extremely important to me, at least, to be that way. And again, I'm not expecting anyone to agree with me. I'm sharing, even though I think it's a fact that is better for children, rather than have all um, the bonds cut and separate. I feel like that is not even something that should be argued about. But again, people choose what they want to choose for their lives. I was lucky that my husband, one of the reasons why we married each other. So I was lucky that my husband was supportive of that, because he had to be, extremely patient with me prioritizing my children and not prioritizing our relationship in a way. I mean, we always had a relationship. It's not that we didn't, but meaning that no matter what, we both knew that kids' well-being is the most important. And if we didn't have time for our own personal going out or dating, or it didn't matter to us. Later, it became more important, and we do it once in a while when we can. If we can arrange kids to have sleepover at the grandparents, we try to take advantage of a night out once in a while here or there, which is fun. It's nice. Yeah. So within the last year, okay, now let's talk about my small little business. I feel like this is probably the most relatable subject, since this YouTube channel features mostly my upcycle clothing, crafting, and creating. I am so happy and excited for myself, especially that I have managed to invent this little business that has come together in such a cute, neat way, that I get to create and do things that are fun for me, that I love doing. And I'm also learning. I did not go to like fashion school, and I do not claim myself to be fashion anything. Please understand that. And even when I share outfits and things that I make, and so this is purely about doing your own thing, expressing yourself in your own way, being sustainable, uh, using up fabrics and textiles in a way that is less wasteful. So it's not about following trends. It's not about doing something that's in or not. Seriously. So yes, about my small business. So me, as I always said, I sew as a homemaker. I'm a hippie crafty homemaker, and that's what I am. I do not claim to be a professional sewist. I am learning as I'm going, and isn't that amazing that I am able to learn and sustain my own learning with earning a little bit of money that I can invest back into developing and growing my own business. This is pretty much where I'm at. You know, the only place where that brings me certain amount of income through in this business is a little shop that is in Toronto, close to Kensington Market, 306 College Street. The shop is called Bazaar. Uh, the whole shop is owned by someone else. It's a couple of people that they collaborating and they co-owning the place, the shop. They are very cool people. It's been only pleasure to be part of it, and they have a lot of vendors in there, a lot of vendors, and everyone's doing different thing. The shop is curated. There are vintage vendors, there are artists, there are vendors with very specific niches. The shop is super cute. It's like a little museum. You walk around and everything is just like, it's just, oh, oh, so nice. Yeah, and I have been also very lucky that that little space that I have, that I rent, has been completely like open for me to experiment. I started my first month at the time, I started with crochet, macrame, crafts, some accessories, I think, but it was mainly very hippie stuff, handmade, handmade and one of a kind. And then with time, I also started upcycling clothing. I started as testing, and then that was selling very good. And at the same time, the YouTube videos were more viewed and more popular of upcycled clothing that I made. So I kind of just rolled with it. And then at some point, I started like introducing a couple of vintage items onto my rack, which was also pretty good. So in the combination of it all, it became, I had like really good 3 months, last 3 months. So I'm really happy with that. And I do want to continue creating and sewing and making and upcycling. And I feel this fits me really well because I like to do a lot of different things. I'm not someone that can stick to that one thing and like mass produce that one thing unless I get to the point where my brand becomes successful enough, or it generates enough money where I can hire people, and then I can expand into so many different ways. For now, I'm going to keep kind of doing what I'm doing because it works for me and this is what I can manage. So in that sense, if I look back on the beginning of the year and now, I'm like, wow, like I I have like gotten a good pace going of everything that I'm doing in a way where it's like pretty organized, and it's like it's flowy. You know, I've got my days. On Monday, YouTube video gets released. I do some social media work. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, I usually I'm creating content. So I'm either sewing or editing video. Then towards the end of the week, that changes. Sometimes I restock Wednesday, sometimes Friday, but I'm also preparing my next stock. I price things. Then I go to town to restock. And it's all kind of like, you know, I do the editing of the video depending on how long I film the content that week. And it all happens within the week. And by Friday, I'm done with that. And in between all that, I'm still taking care of the chores at home, cooking, which I do mostly from scratch. And all our meals, I would say 95% of our meals are cooked mostly from scratch. 95% meals that we eat are cooked by 95% from scratch ish, kind of, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I've got a lot going on, but at the same time, I found the right scheduling and the right flow of it. And to be honest, I feel really proud of myself, and I feel really happy that I have managed to build this little thing for myself without like taking a lump sum of money and investing it. I started literally from nothing. I started from, you know, just, well, if you call it an investment, just by buying some macrame cord or doing some thrifting, you know. And I'm at this point where most of the things that I buy for the business is from my own earnings, which is great. Am I making enough money to like pay our family's bills? I'm not there yet. But, you know, last 3 months, each month I've had something to invest. You know, I at the end of the summer, beginning of fall, I bought myself overlock sewing machine. Then the other month, I bought this red sofa because the other one was getting a little crappy, and I thought that I want something that looks nicer for the content creating. I also bought a table that is here now on the side, which is going to be my little working station, my computer, my sewing machines. I definitely needed that. So in order to move some things around here, I had to replace this crappy sofa because because we had two seating setups, but they both were like just not working anymore. So it was time to upgrade. What else? Yeah, I'm able to pay for my thrifting, the things that I resell or upcycle, or fabrics that I reuse. So things, in my understanding, going really well, especially that I am the only person who is working on this. And even the YouTube content, you know, like I have recently had a little moment thinking like, is this ever gonna go anywhere? Is this going anywhere? I'm like, what? Like, you know, when you get a little phase of like not being viewed so much, and you get tons of emails from like SEO uh, people, you know, offering you their services, and they telling you that your SEOs are bad. You need to improve how I, you know, how I name my videos and how I do all the SEOs. And I'm aware of the SEOs. I'm not professional about it. I'm pretty sure I'm not doing it all perfectly. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I created my website from scratch, and I am not a technology person. Seriously, guys, you have no idea how it is a pain in my ass, pain in the ass to do all the computer work that is involved in this. But I have made it as a challenge for myself. Like, I am not good at it, but I have managed to create the skeleton of the website. And I know there's a lot of work that could be done on it. There's a lot of things that now I see I could have done better. And I probably would have to go back and refix a lot of things. And I haven't had the time to do that. So there's a lot of like, now that I have gotten like a pace of what I'm doing, I'm starting to see like the things that, just checking if my microphone is not out of battery. Okay, checked in. Just, I'm starting to see what could be better. And yeah, so but I think that's only natural. And I would love, and I'm pretty sure at some point I'm going to get to the point where I will be able to invest into that. I might need some professional help. Like, I would need to pay someone to help me out to polish my website and to do this, and that, because, the shop that I've been talking about, that my goal has been for a while to create my online shop, but because I hit a couple of practical inconveniences about it, I stepped back from continuing with it. But now I have a better understanding what direction I want to go with, and that I could experiment in like little chunks of things, like bringing certain things as in little collections. Yeah, but let's leave the plans for 2025 for the next video, which is going to be the week of New Year, and I think that will make more sense. So yeah, looking back at 2024, I have to say, you know what? I've done the best I freaking could. I really did. I put a lot of effort into everything. I stuck with everything. I have not stressed about this thing. There were like few moments, even in my shop, some like months can be a little quieter in retail. Like the summer was a little bit slower in selling. This December month, we were anticipating that December is going to be crazy great because it's Christmas season. Everyone's going to be shopping, because last year December was pretty busy season. But September, October, November has been really good. And suddenly, first week of December, it was like boom. It was like quiet, at least for me personally. Vendors vary on how they sell month to month, but generally it just got really quiet. But it could be many factors. A lot of people are not into shopping vintage or artsy stuff for Christmas. Maybe people are saving money and focusing on their kids' Amazon shopping. I don't know. A lot of people may be away. We also have a lot of clients that are students in the area, and they might be also away for the holidays, just catching up with the family. So there could be so many factors. And yeah, but I have not stressed about it. I said to myself, you know what? It's going to vary. This is part of the business. It's not going to be like 100% consistent. This is a freelancing situation. It's retail. So it's not like you get monthly salary and you just show up to work and then you do your best and you leave. So yeah, either way, everything's great. And, I just, I wish for everyone to find something that they can put their time and the effort and their hearts into it, and experience challenges, like little healthy challenges daily, and feel good about it. Like it's a very this balance, like there's a lot of in modern day, I call it the Instagram or spirituality. There's a lot of like bragging. I feel like I'm getting like a shadow right on my face. Okay, there we go. An Instagrammer spirituality advisors. There's a lot of like, like the affirmation culture, the culture where you, instead of focus on solving problems, you focus on convincing yourself that everything is fine the way it is. There's a fine balance, like now, uh, if if you expect yourself to look like completely different person, then you know what, I don't know. Maybe the affirmations are gonna work for you. You're gonna have to be like, I'm beautiful, I'm this, and I'm that, and but like these kind of things, they don't work for me. I feel beautiful when I put healthy effort into myself, when I eat healthy, when I do a little bit exercise, and whatever I get after that, I'm really okay with it. Like there is, nothing ever is going to be absolutely perfect consistently. Like there's gonna be some days that you're gonna, you'll feel a little bit better than other days. So I feel like people are not being taught to focus on the right things. Like, if somebody is not happy about the bone structure and they're depressed about that, I'm like, this is just bonkers, because we are given this. We don't choose this. Now, if someone is upset about being um, a little bit overweight, okay, well, I wouldn't say you should be depressed about it, and you certainly should not put yourself down about it. But you can start focusing on the health aspects of your lifestyle, and you are going to lose a little bit weight in no time. Like you cannot expect to live a very unhealthy lifestyle and look like an athlete. It's just not gonna happen. So my point is that effort is necessary at feeling good about yourself regardless, and I'm just talking about like body image and health, because I feel like body image and health, they come kind of together, because they should be together. You cannot be thinking, you cannot be expecting yourself to suddenly have six pack while eating McDonald's every day. You might be able to achieve it, but it's only gonna last short term until some serious health problems gonna hit, and you won't even be able to get off the bed. You get the point. So the same thing about feeling good about yourself. In my personal situation, when I felt kind of stuck and trapped, in a way. Well, first of all, I was always very independent. I had a lot of things going for myself. And then I decided to have a family and children, and I chose to prioritize them. And I did it with 100% my own choice and love and wanting to do it. But at the same time, I kind of lost myself in it. And then I kind of became like, okay, well, everything's all about the kids. I'm like, who am I? What do I even like? Like, hello, it's also me here. But like, it sounds like a cliche, but at the same time, it was necessary to become selfless, to find a better version of yourself, I feel. So now that I've put a lot of effort into creating balance, also my kids being a little bit older, and it being natural for me to find little space to prioritize myself and my needs, and to do it in a way where I'm not feeling bad about maybe not doing it as good as like the influencers or the other business people, owners with millions of followers, or with like bunch of money rolling in and all that kind of stuff. I'm doing my own thing, and I'm like, great, they're doing that, but they're also doing a lot of things that I wouldn't want to do. And it's not just about money. Also, it's not, you know, it's not about getting there really fast. It's about creating something that comes really from my heart, that comes from representing who I am and my lifestyle. It comes from being honest, and it comes from just being myself. So I wanted to do this, the whole thing, without having to portray an image, because that would be the end of me. I am not a person who can go out daily and act the act and hide certain things about myself. I'm literally am the way I am, and I'm not afraid of it. So I feel really good about myself, because now I am allowing myself to really be like the authentic self that I am, without fear. But I had to put a lot of effort to be able to have the space and platform for that, without sacrificing other things, like, yeah. I think it's a wrap. I don't even know how long this video is at this point, but we'll hear it back and we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna have to cut some bits out, but you know what? I like to just roll with it. And sometimes I like to not cut things out, because I feel like that leaves like full honesty, because I can't sit here for that many minutes and talk about stuff that I don't even believe in. Like, I would get caught in my own lies if I did that, right? So, okay, happy holidays. Have a lovely week. If you listen to me, thank you. I appreciate every like and a comment. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. Thank you so much for the people who are supportive. And, I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. So, hey, it's way more than I've ever had on Instagram. So, yay, YouTube. And I hope you have a great week, regardless of what your beliefs are, whether you celebrate Christmas, just enjoy the time. I hope you will have family and friends to spend the time with. And if you don't, or if you prefer to be on your own, I hope you enjoy it and you find all the ways to make yourself feel good in your own life. And if you are not happy with certain things in your life, maybe it's a good time to make a list and start planning how you can work towards improving all these little things. Don't expect it to change instantly. Things take time, but as long as you make conscious decisions little by little towards the better, either version of yourself, or towards better health, or towards achieving little financial goals, regardless of what it is, or maybe better relationships, regardless what it is, if you put your mind to it and make little conscious decisions and take little actions, it is all possible. I am a huge believer that meditating or praying backed up with taking responsibility of your own actions and actually doing something towards it, it goes way longer and further and efficient than just doing without any mindfulness, or just wishing and meditating and hoping that the universe will give everything to you. I think both are as important, and neither of them on its own is gonna get you as far as it would when you combine the two together. So yin and yang, guys, yin and yang. All right, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Thank you so much. If you have listened to this whole video, thank you so much. And one more thing I'm gonna say, I do not qualify any more than anybody else who is preaching and teaching anyone how to live their lives. And I do not qualify, like who qualifies for teaching other people how to live life? Nobody does. I really believe that people have the right to pick and choose what is said by other people, and people need to think for themselves, and people need to analyze what is said. And you can say, okay, I agree on that little thing, I completely disagree on that I don't get, this bit is crazy. And you should never blindly follow anyone's advice on how to live your life, even if they have 100 million followers. Okay, because some people just say a lot of stuff, and their own personal life does not reflect on what they preach. It's like, just think for yourself and do analyze things, because we are in this culture where we sold a lot of things, and most things is a business now, and a lot of people are not being honest or not giving honest advice. So be your own personal advisor. And my intention is to never teach and preach. My intention is to share. And if you can get inspired or can learn a little bit from what I'm saying, good for you. And if not, never mind. Mwah!